Why is every pharmaceutical company suddenly obsessed with weight loss drugs? This isn't just a trend, it's one of the biggest shifts in modern medicine driven by science, scale, and staggering financial potential. To understand this race, you have to start with the problem. Obesity has quietly become one of the most serious global health crises. Over a billion people worldwide are now overweight or obese, and the numbers are still rising. But this isn't just about appearance. Obesity is directly linked to type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, stroke, certain cancers, and even neurodegenerative conditions. For decades, weight loss treatments failed to deliver meaningful, sustained results. Diet and exercise alone often weren't enough, and older medications had limited effectiveness or serious side effects. Bariatric surgery worked, but it was invasive, expensive, and not scalable to millions of patients. Then came a breakthrough. A new class of drugs targeting metabolic hormones, especially GLP-1, completely changed the landscape. Drugs like semaglutide and tirzepatide mimic natural hormones that regulate hunger and blood sugar. They slow gastric emptying, increase satiety, and reduce appetite at the brain level. The results are unprecedented. Patients are losing 15 to 20% of their body weight, numbers that were previously only achievable through surgery. And unlike crash diets, this weight loss is sustained as long as the medication is continued. This is where pharma companies saw something massive. Obesity is not a short-term illness, it's chronic. That means patients may need to stay on these drugs for years, even for life. From a business perspective, that creates a recurring long-term revenue stream across hundreds of millions of potential patients. Companies like Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly moved early and are now dominating the market. Their drugs have generated tens of billions in revenue, with demand so high that supply shortages have occurred globally. This success triggered a pharmaceutical gold rush. Now, nearly every major drug company is investing heavily in obesity treatments. They're developing next generation molecules that are more potent, longer lasting, and easier to administer. Oral pills are being designed to replace injections. Combination therapies are being tested to enhance weight loss beyond current limits. But this race isn't just about weight, it's about controlling the entire metabolic disease ecosystem. These drugs don't just reduce fat. They improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and significantly decrease the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Some studies even suggest they may affect brain pathways linked to addiction, opening the door to treatments for conditions like alcoholism or compulsive behaviors. In other words, weight loss drugs are becoming multi-system therapies, and that expands the market even further. Imagine a single drug that treats obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and possibly neurological conditions. That's not just a blockbuster, it's a medical revolution. Pharma companies aren't just chasing a product, they're chasing dominance over one of the largest therapeutic categories in human health. However, this boom comes with challenges. First, cost. These drugs are expensive, often unaffordable for many patients without insurance coverage. This raises serious questions about accessibility, especially in low and middle income countries where obesity rates are rising fastest. Second, long-term safety. While current data is promising, these drugs are relatively new. Scientists are still studying their effects over decades of use. Third, dependency. Since weight often returns after stopping the drug, patients may need lifelong treatment, raising ethical and economic concerns. Despite these challenges, the momentum is unstoppable. What we are witnessing is a fundamental shift in how medicine approaches weight. It's no longer seen as a failure of willpower but as a complex biological condition that can be treated with targeted therapies. And for pharmaceutical companies, this represents one of the largest opportunities in history, a market potentially worth hundreds of billions of dollars. So when you see every pharma giant entering the weight loss race, it's not hype, it's strategy. Because whoever wins this race won't just sell a drug, they'll redefine the future of chronic disease treatment.